Bashers. 501 and change, Dean. I actually had to go back and primp a little bit because I got a haircut and I wanted to make sure I looked pretty. How is everybody today? It is January the 16th, Thursday. It is Thursday. What are we going to talk about today? Who knows? We're going to talk about watch sellers a little bit. Resellers, selling your watch to one of those companies. I was turned on to Talking Timepieces with Tony by Nick Sisto a couple weeks back, and he put up a really interesting video the other day about his experience, and it was just not so pleasant, and he had a real kind of laissez-faire, I don't really need the money, and I don't really care, and I'm going to take a hit, and well, that's cool for him, lucky him. And he's a very nice guy, and his channel is awfully swell, I think. Seems like a real down-to-earth kind of fella. But at the end of the day, when you're selling a piece, you paid for it. You bought it. And maybe you didn't fall in love with it. And his was a brand new watch. Stickers and everything. And they just pulled a lot of crap. And his experience was on Watchfinder. Remember, it used to be, look at this beautiful timepiece. Isn't it magnificent? And then, I think his name is Andrew. He obviously had a kerfuffle with them, and he started his own shebang, which is doing pretty well. But yeah, so it wasn't very pleasant, and they of course got back to him because he's got enough of a YouTube presence, and people agreed and said, oh, I had the same problem. But some of the stuff that they did to him was just lousy and dirty and crappy, and yeah, this stuff goes viral and people start talking about it. And but it wasn't like some magnificent watch. It was a lovely watch. It was a lovely Tudor, like a $3,000 Tudor, like not one of their big models. And I'll show you. I'll pull it up. I have it for later on. But I thought we'd talk about that. And if you have a watch selling experience, I am not in that world, and I hope I never am. I mean, the timepieces that I have, I'm going to keep unless something catastrophic happens. But I hope. I'm not a big seller. I don't, guitars and musical stuff. I don't sell anything. I just kind of keep stuff and just go, eh. And I also don't buy on impulse too. I don't think there's ever been a guitar or a watch or something that I bought and said, shit, why did I buy that? I don't think that's ever happened to me. Anyway, Hiteshi is number one. Yes. Listen, Ray had a comment in there. I saw it as I was setting up the show. He was like, does it really matter if I'm number one? No, it doesn't, Ray. It matters that you're here. That's it. Of course, it doesn't matter. It's just a fun little game that I think it got started by Dean, Nick, and Dave. They just started doing it first, and it just became a thing. And isn't that cool that it just naturally kind of spun into that? I think it's absolutely lovely. I'm still enjoying some of this incredible Guatemalan coffee. I didn't open up the other bag yet because this is so good. I said, you know what? I'm going to pace myself out. Thank you, Drewby. Drewby. Look at the crema on this thing. Wow. That is pretty exciting. But you know what? It's making me rethink coffee. And the reason I say that is because I am an espresso person. I'm an Irish person who grew up on tea. I'm a linesman. I'll always be a linesman. And Jewel, the beloved, our dearly just recently departed Jewel, for Christmas one year got me an espresso machine because she knew I was going to Italy and enjoying coffee, and was kind of new to the coffee thing, being sheltered from garlic and coffee and all things that are not Irish. I don't think I tasted garlic till I was 16. And she got me an espresso machine, and it was part of a club. It was cool. And when you first started with Nespresso, it felt like a kind of elite club. Like, you got into the lounge at the airport, or, a special credit card, because it came with this magnetic key ring that was like bound in leather. And when you went to the Nespresso store, it was a key fob that you just ran over like a little plate that they had on the desk, and they'd be like, "Oh, Mr. Kennedy, would you like the same order as last time, or would you like to try the new Sumatra?" It felt cool. I got suckered into it. I loved it, and I still listen. Nestle is not a great company. We all know that. Their recycling program for Nespresso seems on paper to be really, really good, and everybody seems to think it works. I follow it to the letter. I collect all my stuff in their bags and I take it to the recycling place. But at the end of the day, like when a guy like Drew B sends me some coffee that I have to grind myself, and I have these kind of pods that I bought that will, because I don't have a regular espresso maker here. I have French press, et cetera, and I have machinetto, the old Italian style one that the ladies put on the stovetop when you go over to their house in Italy. But it's making me rethink the whole thing. Like, is there some point in the game where I'm going to just want to buy a really great espresso maker and just get rid of that whole thing? Because it's expensive when you think about it. You get a sleeve of 10 pots, and I'm not just talking about their brand, because now they don't have the patent on is run out. So now other manufacturers, Ely and Kimbo and Segafredo, a lot of brands, all Pete's, everybody makes them now. Starbucks even makes them for the original Nespresso line, the original one, not that new Vertuo line. They're about roughly anywhere from $7-8 to $13, depending on whatever brand you buy, Ely being the most expensive. And Lavazza is a little expensive too. And Lavazza's fine coffee. It's standard. There's nothing unbelievable about it, I don't think. I'll drink it. I like it. But they seem to be priced very high comparatively, and I'm a little shocked by that. And then there's some other brands that are Maestra, a couple of other brands that I buy. But at the end of the day, you're getting 10 cups of coffee for around $10. So that's $1 a cup. Now, certainly that's cheaper than going to Starbucks or getting a coffee, unless you're in Italy, of course, because then it's €1. But my question is, down the line, is it going to be smarter for me? Obviously, when, I'm not going to say if anymore, when the Italy thing happens, I'm going to want probably an espresso machine, or maybe I'll just keep the Nespresso and, in the morning, it'll be my new thing to go get Il Giornale, the newspaper, if there's such a thing anymore, and a cup of coffee at the local cafe, which is a thing that many Italians do. At home, they usually have like one of those little machinettos, and they go out for their espresso elsewhere, to see their friends. Hey, Giuseppe, hey, Mario, but I'm really rethinking it, because there's a bunch of them out on the market. And then there's that whole thing. Oh God, it's like watches all over again. It's like bicycles all over again. It's like guitars all over again. It's like microphones all over again. Then you start researching, then you start getting all nitpicky and weird. And the next thing you know, you're that guy, that British guy on TV who's got the coffee show, and he turns coffee into Bordeaux. And I have to admit that I snicker when I watch that stuff, because as much as I like coffee and pizza, I'll still drink airport coffee and eat airport pizza, because I'm that much of a lowlife. I'll still do it because I just like cheese, bread, and sauce, and I still like coffee. I won't drink Starbucks, and I won't drink Dunkin' Donuts, because I don't like them as companies. And I just think it's disgraceful that in these United States we have so much to-go garbage, so many things. I see wrappers all over the street and all the cups. If you're having a cup of coffee, I like to have coffee in either a ceramic cup or one of these beautiful glasses that I got from Handsome Joe. I just like it. I have this beautiful set of World's Fair Ely demi-tasse and latte cups that I got in 2015 when I went to the World's Fair in Milano, and I've never even taken them out of the box. I always say one day I will, but then somebody said, "Oh my God, did you see them? They're worth $1,000 because they have special commemorative artwork on there." I'm like, "Oh, really?" And then I'm not a collector. Like, watches I wear, guitars I play, bicycles I ride. I'm not one of those guys that puts the action figures in the case and displays them and sells them when I'm, 40-year-old virgin and stuff like that. I know people do that. I don't have a collector's mentality. My CDs all look like shit. My albums all look like they're all dog-eared. I'm not that guy. So, but that box is pristine. And I bought it at the Ely. Um, if you don't know, you all know what a World's Fair is, but there it was called Expo. It was in 2015, and it was in Milan, and it was extraordinary. It was participating countries all over the world build these giant structures and display the very best of who they are as a country. Everything from Russia was there, and Ghana was there, and Ireland was. Everybody was there. There's a couple of obviously missing ones. Like you probably wouldn't find Russia there now. But I went into the Italy pavilion, and they had this big Ely kiosk, and that's where I learned what a shakarada was. I made one for you last Friday, and I never tasted one before, and it was extraordinary. And I make them all the time now. But that was the very first time I had that, and then they were selling these commemorative limited, and they're limited too. There's only 400 sets of them. And I think there's like 6 latte cups and 6 espresso cups with saucers and everything. They're beautifully painted. So I don't know. Maybe I'll never open them. Maybe it'll be the one thing I never open. I don't know. Hiteshi says, please remember to upvote. It's a heist, cat burglar. Yeah, that was the whole impetus for that was, like, are you getting ripped off? Are you the type of person that, listen, I think we all go on Chrono 24 all the time. I know I do. I have my watches on there. I don't even know if that's a good idea for them to know what I own, right? I think I'm going to take that off. I think that's bad because my collection is, modest at best. But did anybody watch Ush's video today? It was really a great one. And it was really about collecting. It was all about his collection journey and what would he do differently. And I really thought, one, it was self-deprecating when it comes to, purchases he's made and which ones he would have done and which ones he wouldn't have done. And of course, I kind of knew all that information because we talk about that kind of stuff. And like I knew for sure that the Seamaster 300 was going to be the one that he loves. And I knew that his Speedy 861 and then the Daytonas, I knew that was out and that's probably partially my fault because I'm not a Daytona fan. I'm congratulations for anybody who gets one because they're gorgeous. Just for me, I'm such a Speedy guy. So it's just like kind of like the anti-Speedy, but they're gorgeous. And he even says, it's not for me. It's probably for you. Plus he's got a very big wrist and they run kind of small they wear kind of small. But it was very interesting, Panerai. If you saw it, it was really one of my favorite videos that he's done. And I didn't know he was making it. And I was like, oh, this is a really good one. I really, really enjoyed it. So go check that out if you can. And please remember to upvote because it is a heist. So the whole impetus was that is like, are you getting ripped off? And listen, he's bought and sold watches, but not as a seller. If he doesn't fall in love with them, he gets rid of it. And somebody else is going to enjoy it. And that's the thing. Like if you decide this watch, oh, wow, this was never right for me. Like Talking Tony, he said, he bought this watch. Let me pull it up. Let me get to a couple of things first. Mike Callan says, all the best bashers. You're the best. Be kind and upvote. Thanks. Yes, Mike Callan with 20 balloons. Happy Thursday, Dirk. Thank you, Mike Callan. You are a legend. Let's give you a big bang boom for that. That's 20 balloons. That's huge super chat. And the incomparable Andrew Wolkowicz, Canadian $20. Hitesh may have the first comment, but I've got the first comment. But according to my screen, I have the first upvote. Click first and comment second. I kind of think it's fun. You get a little song, ditty, and all that stuff. And Daniel, I didn't send yours out yet because I just had so much on my plate today, but it's almost done. And right after I'm done with the show, I'll send that out. And also to the incomparable Hiteshi. So this too, easy to do. I just need about an hour on each tune because I'm going back to the custom ones as opposed to the Christmas season is dead. It's over. It's put away. It's finished. Okay. Andrew Bugger, I'm working till 5:30. I'll miss the show and catch the recording. Absolutely no reason for anyone to not give a like or upvote. best online to hang out with. Oh, yeah. Isn't this the best group ever? It is, because we're like a little gang of folks. And it's great. And it's your show. I just host it. That's what it is. That's it. Sometimes I'm late for work. A little bit. Andrew Wolkowicz, love the thumbnail, but all the cats should be tuxedo cats if they're being criminals. Indeed. Melly C. My Glaucus was a devil. The black and whites are devilish. Paul said if they had thumbs, it would be the end of the world. The cats would rule the world. For a second, I thought my upvote didn't register, but it did. It did. It definitely did. And he always upvotes first. Well, thank you. Dave Fahrenheit 451 upvoted. Thanks. How are you, Dave? How's everything in your world? Send us a shot, will you? Send us a shot. The sublime, the obscure. We need a little bit of Dave love in the room. Let's look at some, whatever you want. Whatever you want to put in there. It doesn't have to be a watch. Could be you were shopping for a belt. I don't care. Gutierrez, hello, Bashers. Hopefully texts are not erased. They weren't today. I submitted all the stuff from yesterday. I'll probably get what I went through all the seasons, right? I went through summer. Well, I haven't met fall or autumn yet. So let's see. Melly C, good day, Dirk, and all the Bashers. Happy Thursday. Well done, Hitesh. Well done to you. Carolyn Martin's in the room. I'm proud to be dead and last. 499. Well, hey, never dead and last. Oh, look at the beautiful Sharon. $13.99 for the espresso fund. That's awfully sweet of you. I mean, it makes you really rethink. Like, God, was that such an entry-level thing that I did when I got into Nespresso? Because listen, I'm this. Can I do my Jon Stewart thing? Everybody knows that, the coffee purists grind and they brew their own coffee. Of course they do. That's what they do. It's like people who have FP Journe or Langa or AP or Patek, and you go, oh, look at my pick any lesser brands, you'd be like, oh, that Tissot's cute, or oh, that Casio's cute, but at the end of the day, like this guy, his name is James. I forget what the name of his channel is. He's got millions of subscribers. It's a coffee channel, and it's snootery. It's utter coffee snootery. That's like walking around like, listen, I'm not going to be a wine douche because I already am one. But like as I get older, like we used to go searching for the holy grails of wine, and I drank every single one of the five Grand Crus. I drank them all of the Bordeaux's, except for Latour. I've never had Chateau Latour. But I've had tasted stuff. I've tasted all the fancy stuff. I had a bottle of Petrus. But like at this point in the game now, if I find a $25, $30 bottle of Medoc or Pauillac or Pomerol or something like that, I'm buying it. Because it's like you move on to other things because it's a hobby too. You learn as much as you can, you drink as much as you can, you get off it. Watches, you learn as much as you can, you buy as many as you want, and then you kind of move on to biciclette or whatever, your next thing. It just happens. It's cyclical. It's life. Priorities change. You don't really know where you're going with that. But thank you for that. And yeah, I've been thinking about that. And I actually started looking around. I was like, oh man, these are expensive. So I'll probably get one there, but I probably wouldn't need one there because there's a cafe on every block. You just go downstairs and say, caffè doppio per favore, grazie mille, ciao. That's it. You go whoop and you walk out the door. But thank you for that. That's huge super chat. And I just spilled my coffee on the desk, on the grass. I just have to stop it so it doesn't, because my house is slightly tilted. I have to make sure it's not going somewhere, and it is. Isn't this fun? All right. Of course, on live TV. It's nothing better than that. Here's a RAM chip. Doesn't matter. There's not a computer left on Earth that will run that thing. So yeah, I'm thinking about that's probably the best idea down the road. But for now, I have these little pods that recreate the Nespresso brewing system, and I put them in there, and I have these little stickers that you affix to the top. These are the ones I put on the back of my Milgauss to protect it. Okay, my desk now is going to be like coffeeed out. Okay. All done. Got on my cat. Got on one of my cats. You probably have that one too, Angelo, right? It's cute, right? Anyway, I didn't want it to get on my Mirage box because I have a Mirage box right there. Thank you, Sharon, for that. That's very sweet of you. You're the best. You're the top. Oh, did it get on my mouse? Don't get on my mouse. I need this for my show. I need this for my show. Did I do that? I'll do it again. Thank you, darling. So now that my desk looks really cleaner than it did before, I'll pull this up. And I don't know if you guys watch Talking Time Pieces with Tony. I have to thank Nick for that because I didn't know who he was. And it turns out this guy is a musician. And I don't know of his work or anything, but this is it. And this was the video. It's called, let me pop it up, make it larger. I will never do business with this company again. And this was, he went to Watchfinder. He had bought a Tudor that just wasn't doing it for him. And he never wore it. He said he tried it on once. And he never put it back on. He kept the stickers on it and everything. So I think he paid like $3,000 for it, and they offered him $15,000 for it. And he was like, oh, I mean, he was being way too nice about it because this is a product, and I think Dean will agree. Because I'm getting to know the personalities of the people in the room. I think you paid $3,000 for that, and it's a brand new it's new old stock. This thing is new. You put it on your wrist like you tried it on a showroom. That's still a new watch. It was still stickered and all that stuff. So here's what they did. They sorry about the noise. I'm done. What they did was they gave him a quote and they said send it in, and he never heard from them. They're like, why didn't you send your watch in? And he said, well, you never sent me shipping label. So they're like, oh, okay. So like a week later, they sent him. This was now like a month later. They sent him a shipping label. He sent it back to them, and he never heard from them. Not for like 2 months. Started in like October or November, and he finally they finally, after 6 or 7 unanswered emails, they got back to him, and they offered him $1,300. And he was like, at this point, I don't care. You got the watch. Fine. Give me the payment. They sent him the payment, but then they sent him a receipt that said, we're also taking off $180 for polishing. And he wrote them back. He said, what are you talking about? It's a brand new stickered watch. There's no polishing necessary. He goes, well, we wanted to get it up to our standards. He goes, standards should be, mine's better than your standards. It's brand new. Anyway, so he made a video. It did very well. It says 33,000 hits there. That's probably increased since then. And then they got a hold of him. Oh, we have new practices. We're going to refund you the money. You got to be so careful out there. You got to be so careful. And Watchfinder, you think it's a, reputable company. I mean, listen, with Chrono, you can go through the same thing. You can either, I think the option is you can either just sell it, just you ship it directly and they get a commission. But like when you have to send your watch away, I think you should never do that. I think you're just better off selling it privately. Or I just don't understand it. Does anybody have any history with any of this stuff? And what say ye about all that stuff? I mean, there's a lot of, there's Circa, and there's Watchmax, and there's Grail Z, and then there's Watches and Beyond, and Ben's, and Bob's, and Watch You Seek, and there's so many different things. Does anybody else have had a thing like that? Because especially if you say it's a Pepsi or a hot, like a Hulk, there's big money to be made on those watches, the ones that everybody wants. You want a Polar Dial Explorer, everybody wants that watch. So it's a very strange thing, and I'm wondering if anybody else has been in that situation with that stuff. It's really, really, really crazy to me. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that, guys and girls? I'm curious for your answer. Let's see who else is in the room. LEC, Kevin Landon, number 6, upvoted today. Greetings and best wishes to Dirk and all the bashers. No work today, so I'll be here live to serve the bash. Welcome. Lads, stop floating around. We're locked in. You got me locked in. Locked inside my love. What band is that? Go. I didn't do a good job of it because I am not a good Halford. Oh, I gave it away. Now is the age of anxiety. What the mass media offers is not popular art, but entertainment, which is intended to be consumed like food, forgotten and replaced by any new dish. Wow. A poet can write about a man slaying a dragon, but not about a man pushing a button that releases a bomb. That's true. And cats can be very funny and have the oddest way of showing that they're glad to see you. Yeah, I miss it every single day because I loved coming home and being loved. It was a great thing. Franco Fiore says, "Happy Thursday, Bashers. Happy Basharuni to you, Franco. Grazie mille." Dean says, "I am glad I am 12th in the room. What's going on at the top between Hitesh and Andrew? A bit of a hustle and bustle. I think that they're bots now." Oh, God. Did Dean send me evidence that I was a minute late? God. It's your show. I just hosted, but I can show up when I want. I have to be pretty. Andrew Wolkowicz, Dean, it's all in fun. Still at work. Enjoy the show, everyone, and subscribe and upvote. And Joe LaFaro is here. Hey, handsome Joe. You know what's really great? I knocked this over and it went, the coffee spilled out and it bounced right back up. Isn't that nuts? Because I'm klutzy. I'm kind of klutzy. I'm not a good dancer. Angela Minikillo, hey, Dirk and all. I sent some interesting, I hope, pics along for everyone. I saw them. I did. Some Jacques Droz. Very interesting history of that watch. Was it 1730 something that he invented all that stuff? Apparently, he's been accused of inventing the first computer, which is a very interesting piece of history. Ray, damn, is it really important to get in them? I already read that now. Angelo is interesting photos. What does that mean? Are they rude? Yeah, from his OnlyFans, Dean. That's what it is. Tuning in to 402 Central Standard Time, since that's when it really starts. Well, that's when it gets juicy. Mart says, time for some iBashing again. Let's go. Hey, Bronson, what's up with you guys? What's up? And Sharon with the hearts. Hearts to you, darling. I have no idea what happened with the upvote, but all good. Just a little West Coast, East Coast thing. It's like a rap war, right? Andy M says, I'm sorry I'm late. I just missed the intro. Well, that's not late. That's not late. The acceptable time period for being late is 10 minutes in business, but not to Dean. But 10 minutes is definitely anything after that. One thing I learned a long, long time ago at work is, and I was in my earlier career, I would show up a little bit late. But then one of my bosses said, you know, it just means that you have no respect for anybody else. So then I was never late ever again after that. Long, long time ago. Long, long time ago. Never. Because it's inconsiderate to other people. The thing that what makes it so unique, and yes, is we're here now or in the replay. That is I think that this show is unlike any other. I don't know of any other show, because that's not a panel show. So it's not a bunch of talking heads. Maybe on Friday night. Oh, by the way, the incomparable Dana O'Malley will be joining us on Friday. I believe she's going to be doing Who Need to Drink. And they can talk about the fires and, you know, get into politics and all that kind of stuff that I don't do on my show. And then we'll just drink and have fun with the incomparable one. And that'll be great. Hey, Steve Zaliski's in the room. Hey, Dirk. Great to be back. Have a great show. Hey, great to see you. Hey, buddy. I made number one just the once, but damn, it felt good. You could do it again. You could do it again. Doesn't really matter, though. You're here, and that's what counts. Indeed. Indeed, 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 indeed. What does Joe say? You need Akita. You need an Akita Capresso machine. Capresso machine. Okay, is that the one I want? You need a Jura machine. How many machines do I need there? I've seen the Jura though, but you know I don't want that. I want a Fema. I want an Italian machine, Jojo. That's what I want. I don't want to buy one of those Williams Sonoma jobs. I don't want one of those. I mean, if I had I love when you go into a real cafe, it's Chimbali or one of those great brands, but Marzocchi also makes bicycle parts, by the way. They also make espresso machines. Marzocchi. Yeah, I've seen all those ones. First of all, I don't use milk. And you know what I do have that Nespresso makes? The Aerochino, which is the greatest thing that anyone has ever invented for the coffee world. It's a little thing. You put your milk in there. You choose either froth or foam, a steamed milk or frothy foam. You put it in there, you close it, and it makes either ice cold foam for your iced drinks or super hot foam or froth. And it does it in like 30 seconds. That thing I would never, I'm not going to get one of those things. I know we don't, and they're so expensive. You know, if I had like a pool and, you know, that kind of crap, which I'm never going to have that. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I've seen them. They can get really, really expensive. Really, really expensive. Mart says, I am very happy with my Siemens EQ6 Plus coffee machine. It does everything. Now, Siemens, by the way, is a huge brand elsewhere. Siemens has absolutely, and if they do have a presence in the United States, it is, it's in building or it's in some kind of telecommunications, because you can't go in a store and buy Siemens anything. We don't have the brand here. It's just not a thing. Never. I think for 5 minutes there were TVs once and maybe cordless telephones, but that disappeared pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. Rhonda Ince. Hey, Rhonda Ince. Brew Lab Coffee, Dublin. You have to come. Is that where you're from, Rhonda? It's not the most Irish name in the whole wide world. Rhonda Ince or Rhonda Ince. I know a girl named with your same last name. I do indeed. I do indeed. Sharon, Expo 1976 Montreal was my last one. I stayed in a hotel adjacent to that many years ago. Many years ago, I went to Montreal to do I sang and narrated a commercial for Quebec tourism. I'm going to say this is about 15 years ago. I got a phone call from a guy that I worked with, and he said, hey, you want to do a commercial? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'd love to do a commercial because it's in Montreal. I was like, I really want to go. First time there. I loved it. And it was in the dead of winter. And for 2 nights, I stayed at this hotel that was like adjacent or close to, like right across the street, kind of, sort of, I think. But I mean, I could see it right out my window with the big tower on the top. And then they put me in this place. I think it was called the St. James. It was gorgeous. And it was right at the first block of the Old Town. I love Montreal. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hitesh says, my parents used to collect McDonald's glasses from the early 80s for us. Now they're just sitting in the back of my cabinet with daily wear in front. Isn't that funny? If you open up your cabinet and you look inside, there's so many things. And there's so many things that I will never use. So like we talked about thinning out the herd, like all that stuff. You know, stuff what people will want that stuff, you know, they will want it. And think about all of the things that you have that you never look at, that you never use, that might thrill somebody else, and either give it away or sell it to them or whatever, you know. Like my friend Steve, who just had his eye surgery, he's doing really well. Thanks for your well wishes, everybody, for him. He collects, he's got thousands and thousands, and we're sitting across the table, and like, I don't really give a shit. Like, sometimes I'll open up my CD boxes and the CD's not even in there because it's just like whatever. But my vinyl, I never really take those out, and I do love them. But his looks like the Library of Congress. He takes such good care of them. But then we were talking about the other day about, grabbing. I'm going to just take a record out, right? I don't know what it's going to be. I'm just going to grab it. Hold on. I'm just going to grab a record. Hold on. I have no idea what it's going to be. I'm just going to pull it out. God, they're packed in here so tight. Come on. Jesus Christ. Wow. This goes to show you what a weirdo I am. Where'd my headphones go? I don't really need them. My hair, it's pretty cool, right? It's pretty cool. Let's see. This, I thought I was going to pick out a Kiss record. This is called Rome 35 millimeter. The Roman Pops Promenade on Command Records. Enoch Light and his orchestra. Look at this, what we used to get. Look at this stuff we used to get. This is from 1961. And this is what we used to get, though, back in the day. We used to get these records and all the liner notes, and here's all a description of the show, how to best listen to the record. It's amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Maybe I'll put that on later and see how good it is. It looks cool, right? Look at that. What a weird thing. I mean, I have like 3,000 vinyl albums. But one of these days I'll listen to some of them. It'd be fun. Go grab some of the stuff that I'll never do that with vinyl. I gave a bunch away to my nephew, but he's just as bad as me, maybe worse at taking care of things. Italy might be part of the USA by the time you get there. World gone mad, I tell you. I just watched about an hour and a half of Bill Clinton on an interview, and I was like, wow, imagine we had a president who was super intellectual, like super smart and deep. And man, he talked about everything. It was fascinating what he talked about. Current state of affairs, what led to our current situation in politics, what led to the division, why he doesn't think there'll ever be a Palestinian state. And it was incredible. It was really interesting to hear it from somebody who was really, really smart like that. Because it doesn't really exist very much anymore. Not the people we get. Good afternoon, all you Bastardies. It's Vaughn is back. Hey, Vaughn, great to see you. And I see you sent a picture, too. I'm very excited about that. I love when people show up who I haven't seen in a long... It's been such a long time. For those in Canada, remember the Pito Canada gold rim ones. Oh, from the expo. You guys have had a couple of them, yeah. James M. Hey, James M. Watched Machines. It was a really great episode. It was really good. Basically, it's you and I. It's everyone who has a watch collection, And he said, do you need more than 5 watches? Probably not. It's just a thing that people do. It was very, very interesting. Panel power. If you can afford to buy an expensive espresso machine, go for it. But I'd stick with the mocha pot as it's cheap to just stand at the bar and order one in Italy, plus encourages you to socialize a bit. Yes. Well, I hate the mocha pot. I don't like that coffee. Listen, I love coffee, but that I have 2 of them. And, Paul's an old guinea and he loves that shit. He loves to put the mocha on and whatever. I don't like it. It's flat and it's blech. I do not like that process at all. The only thing I like less than that is drip coffee. And no offense to anybody in the room, but I hate those Keurig machines. I think they make terrible tasting coffee and they're watery and acidic. And I don't know what it is with those machines. And they're huge in America. But I love, I think I would keep the espresso machine. And you know what they did? My machine broke and they gave me a new one after I had it for 10 years. So I have a lot of luck. I think I just know how to talk to people on the phone also. I'm respectful to people who have to deal with the public because I used to do it too. But you never know. I missed my seagull delivery today. Oh, you got one too, Joe? Did you watch? Were you on the show yesterday? Hold on. Ray has one, but Matt Crocker, I'm going to pull this up now so you can see Matt Crocker got it yesterday. Ready for this? Wow, they're sold out. This watch went through the roofage. There you go, Joe. That's Matt Crocker's that he got. It was delivered to him yesterday. Oh, you missed the delivery? I'm sorry. Don't you hate that? I hate when that happens. Wow, isn't that? It's cool. It's a cool looking watch. I mean, listen. You can get into the whole politics of the China thing. It's a problem. It's problem. Everybody buys everything. Amazon's a problem. We buy a lot of stuff from China. I try not to do that, but I have my chips in which was a big waste of money because I put money into it and I never, ever, ever touch it because I just think it's crap. At the end of the day, I don't think that those are, but I don't know. Andy M says that secrecy is vital. Only tell everything to the one you trust with your life. People can be horrible and devious, our worst nightmare. I'm not exactly sure what that alludes to, but it's like, giving your watch away. Yeah, don't tell people where you're going. Don't tell people you're going on vacation. Don't give out PIN numbers, because people listen to this. Who do you trust the most? Generally, your spouse, your lover, your loved one, right? And then people get divorced. Then people who loved each other hate each other. It really happens to so many people, and then they have, they know that you have that sock fetish or that strange, weird thing. It's why people's bedtime talk, bedroom chat gets out. I recorded you when you said, you're my mommy, or something gross, and then people hear it and they're like, oh my God, he's called her his mommy. And it distracts. I mean, it's just terrible. Don't tell anybody anything, Paul and I don't share bank accounts. We never did. Never, ever, ever. I have no idea how to get in his bank account, nor do I have any interest in doing it yet. Yeah, you got to be careful, because you know what? Your biggest ally could be your biggest enemy. It can happen. It happens all the time. Friendships break up and marriages break up. The person you trusted the most in your life could betray you. You don't know. Keep it close to the vest, as they say. Cats and boxes, cats and boxes, cats and boxes. Yes, indeed. Carolyn Martin, $1.99. You need an Ely ×1. I got one when we were in Italy. 2022. We went in the middle of the pandemic, so it was 2021. I'm gonna say. Ush had we were all in Venice, and he had rented the apartment across the hall from him. First, we had an Airbnb, and he found for us, and me, Dane, and the kids, and Paul, we all stayed there. It was amazing. I'm a hotel guy, and this was incredible. It was a beautiful apartment. I would kill for this apartment. Oh my God, it was amazing. And then we went and we left, and we went for a couple of days down to Fano, and then we came back, and Ush stayed up here, but he rented the apartment across the hall from him, and he wouldn't take any money from us or any of that stuff. So we were out for breakfast one day, and we were in this very swanky Ely bar. It's a bar that's sponsored by Ely, a cafe. We had brunch and everything, and I went over there, and there were those machines. There was the X1. I don't know if I got him the X1 though. That's the Populux mid-century modern one, right? I don't think they had that, but I got him an Ely machine. So he's got one of those. Yeah, that's it. Or my Espresso machine, because here's the problem. With the Ely machine, you can only use Ely coffee. And that's fine too, because I love Ely coffee. However, with the Espresso, you can get those reusable pods or use just about any brand, because Ely everybody makes them for an espresso. So listen, at the end of the day, you have coffee in the house when you have guests over, but for the most part, when you wake up in the morning, you go downstairs, you put a hood on, you go across the street to the local cafe, and you spend $1 on a coffee, and they give you a glass of water, and you just sit there. Ciao. Buongiorno. Buongiorno. That's what you do in Italy. Here, you rush like a cockroach. You get on the subway, you get on the bus, you get into Starbucks, you get a coffee that's this big for $8 with your name smacked on it. And you're walking around with a plastic or a paper cup and paper on a straw and all this refuse that needs to get thrown out or recycled and never does. And over there, you put your hood on, you go across the street, you say caffè doppio per favore, or caffè latte per favore, grazie. And then the coffee comes, and they give you the coffee and a water. Sometimes they give you a biscotti or something, especially in the afternoon. If you order a drink, you're going to get chips and all that kind of stuff. But they usually give you something in the morning. And then it's in a beautiful ceramic cup. And then when you're done, they wash it. Who would have thought of something? Let's throw stuff out instead. It's just nonsense. I would prefer not to eat than give up my Jura machine. Oh, yeah. So you fell in love with it. Yeah. I mean, but it's perfect for an American lifestyle, an Italian lifestyle in America. I'm sure that it is, Yeah. Andy M says, I have buyer's remorse. I don't have seller's regret. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's important. Dave Fitzsimons, hey, Basharisti, coffee and watches. You hit my sweet spot. I love my coffee and I love my watches, as do most of us. That's for sure. The Nespresso system is really not bad if you're not ready for a big buck machine. Yeah, I just don't see myself ever buying one of those unless I could get like Joe. If I was going to get one, I'd want like Cimbali or Fema, one of those. It's like, like I know that they make all these big fancy machines all over, but I've seen them. I go to Bloomingdale's. I go to Bloomingdale's to get an espresso because they have a boutique up there. Actually, I'm not going there anymore because they were snooty and nasty, and I don't feel like I'm in that special club anymore. I used to be in this special club where I put my thing down. One day I went to go put my key fob down. They go, oh, we don't use that anymore. I went, what? Everybody gets it. Didn't feel special anymore. And you know what? I liked it. I like being in little clubs. Listen, we all of us like a little bit of exclusivity. Who doesn't? Like, oh, I stayed at the Excelsior. Oh, I stayed at the Hassler. Oh, whatever. I don't have a black card and I'm sure I never will. But, like there's clubs. There's reasons why people have them. And like the Nespresso thing at first was like a club. And it was really great. And I like the coffee. That guy, James, hated every single one of them. He was doing this. He was going like this. Fuck off, please. It's not wine. It's coffee. And most people need it because they need to shoot up in the morning so they can get to work and get wired. Yes, I love coffee too. And I do need it to wake up in the morning. I'm useless without coffee. I'm absolutely a useless piece of blubbery nothing. I can't get my act together at all. But when somebody does that, I'm like, he hated all of them. And I was waiting for him to get to my favorite, which is Ristretto. That's the one. That's my go-to. That's the one I like the most. It's a number 10. It's a very dark roast. I really enjoy it. It does exactly what I want it to do. Does it taste as good as the coffees I've had all over the world? No, it doesn't. The best cup of coffee I ever had in my entire life, believe it or not, was in Croatia. It was unfathomable. And the second cup of coffee I had that was incredible was in Trieste, in Italy. We were in this cafe. I forget what it's called. Tomaseo. That's what it's called. And Cafe Specchi. And it was just unbelievable. It was a Cafe Specchio. It was a Cafe Mirror. It might have been. But yeah, I mean, is it as good as that? No, but also it's the experience. You're sitting at a table, you're outside, you're in a piazza, you get this beautiful thing, you have some biscotti, blah, blah, blah. It's a magical thing. It all adds to the flavor and the ambiance of the stuff. In the morning, I just go like this, clunk, pod, glass, clunk, and I slug it. And I need it because I'm a drug addict. Because that's what I need. I don't know. It's crazy. What are you talking about? Duracells. Did I miss something on batteries? Do you think all batteries are the same? I always buy Duracell. I'm a Duracell kind of guy. But it's funny. I just took this. I bought these not long ago. These are probably made in China, so I'll never buy them again. Amazon Basics. And you know what? I put them in my mouse. Because this one charges. This one charges. But I have a backup mouse. I have two of these things. This one is the older one. This one requires battery. But they were like cheap. But maybe I should never buy them again. Where are they made? Made in Sri Lanka. Buying them. Yay. Dirk, I told you about Tony about 1 year ago. Jesus. Well, you might have told me, but Nick sent me like a video. He wanted me to watch it. Yeah. I love you, Dean. I know. You might have. I like him. He's great. He's a super cool guy. And you were the one that told me he was a rocker, right? Very cool dude. I like him a lot. He's very honest and down to earth. And, my watch shows are, I watched the English Watch, which I saw you watched last night, Dean. I saw you commented. I love Andy. I love his show. I love him as a person. I was so worried for him during his heart attack. What a super duper guy. I just like his whole thing. I love his watch journey. So yeah, I like him a lot. And I watched Tim Masso, and that's about it. I don't really, occasionally I'll pop in on Brit. Occasionally I'll pop in on TVG. Occasionally Adrian. That's it. I watched a little bit of Timmy last night, but that's, they're all different, but when I want to watch, like when I want to know something about watch, it's instantly Tim Masso. Bang, bang, bang. Instantly, Crema is very important, especially if you're a black coffee drinker like myself. I like my espresso. I like it a little bit frothy. I love great crema. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Dirk, what would you give up first, coffee or Diet Coke? Diet Coke. 100%. I'm not going to be able to drink that anyway. They don't have it over there. Jocelyn Bittenbender, I'm way late. Hey, me too. I was late. I started drinking coffee in my 20s. I'm really sensitive to caffeine, 2 ounces of regular coffee, and I get things done. But then I am also awake till 2 a.m. I don't know if I've ever told this story before, and stop me if I have, but I love caffeine, and if I ever tried cocaine, I would love it, and thank God I never did. However, I had a customer that used to come into my old bar, and he was always wired, and I assumed he was a coke fiend, but it turns out he wasn't. He was on Adderall. And some St. Patrick's Day, he came in, and he was wired, and he was, you don't believe what I get done on Adderall. You wouldn't believe it. And I said, yeah, but you're like a high-octane guy. He goes, he gave me 4 Adderall, and he said, just take one or take half of one and see if it helps you focus and stuff. So I was like, okay, I never did it. And then one day I found them, and I was working on a rec. I don't know what I was doing. So I cut one into a quarter. I popped a quarter of it. I cleaned my entire house, and I wrote, recorded, and mixed a song that wound up being the first single on the last Hitman record called The Ledge. And I did it in like an hour and a half. Like I wrote a whole song. Like I didn't have that song in my head at all. Wasn't happening. Wasn't even thinking about it. And I sat down and I was like, okay, how about a song? And boom, it came out of me. And that was Adderall. So the next thing I did was I flushed the rest of them down the toilet, because that is a problem. Dean says, I'm a patron of Ang. He's great, man. What a great guy to support. He's such a wonderful guy, right, Dean? I love him. I love Andy. He's actually my favorite watch channel. I just watch him all the time. I watch him. Recently, I've been pairing my cigars with cold Nespresso. Tasty. Have you had a Shakarado yet? Watch Friday's show. I made one. It's really, really good. Oh, yeah. I know about the Gaggia Classic Pro is a good. I've seen it. I've seen the Gaggia. Hey, Nelius. Look at that beautiful baby. Look at that. Yes, the Gaggia machines are apparently very, very good. I also have extremely limited counter space here, because I live in an old railroad apartment in New York City. I have about 2.5 feet of counter space usable for cutting and cooking and what I'm getting done. Stove over here, sink over here. I've got my Breville, big giant toaster oven, which I never use my oven anymore. I use my stovetop for gas. I never use the oven in that thing anyway. But if I got a big kitchen, I'd be walking around like, what do I do? I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't have any idea. Hey, Matt Crocker. Used to be a Chemex guy, but now love my Melita Epure machine. Okay, cool. I know Melita. I don't know what Chemex is, though. That's very, very cool. Ray says, my coffee maker was a great buy. She's called Kathleen. You're terrible. PM's been married for 36 years. I'm now assuming it's going to last a while longer by her choice. I manage all money matters. She said long ago that she is an end user. Well, it works, it works for people. And that's really, really great, Secrecy is vital. Take your watches off chrono. Yeah, I'm going to do that right after the show, right after I send out my Basher of the Day songs. PM bought a Jura. Says, yeah, I know. They're beautiful machines 5 years ago, and you love it. I love it. So you're going to get your watch tomorrow, Joe? That's great. It's time for Gallery of Bashtards. I've been going on and on forever, and you guys have things to do. You have things to show us. You have things to share. It's the Gallery of Bastards.
The Gallery of Bashtards. Send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The Gallery of Bashtards. You share them with me, and I share with the world.
You share them with me, and I share with the world. Got to do it as Dio as possible, ever. Joe says, my ex-wife preferred it for the quality of the cream. So when we were together, we had two machines on the counter, his and hers. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, Paul likes the machinetta. He likes it. But now he is somewhat caffeine compromised. When that happens to me, I'm going to jump off the nearest bridge. When the doctor says, Dirk, I think it's time for you to cut down on the caffeine. Because I mean, what else is left in this world? This is from the incomparable Drew B, and this is Jack enjoying the fireplace. Oh, Jack. Oh, man, they love it. That's great. That's a great shot, man. Classique. Classique. I think we have a twofer, right? Right, Drew? Yes, we do. Sub a dub dub. Oh, here it is. Oh, wow. I can't. You're giving another watch some wrist time? I can't even believe that. Wow. Yeah, it looks great on you. That sub is great. And it's a no date, which is mine. If I was to have one, it would be the no date. I'm not a big Cyclops guy. I don't hate them anymore like I used to. I used to think they were silly, and now I think they're cool. But I would definitely go no date. That's beautiful. Look at you, man. I can't believe you're actually wearing a different watch. Can't believe it. I guess you were feeling bad for your subby. It's beautiful. Yeah, that would be the, if I was going to go sub, I would definitely go in that direction. Here's a picture from Chris, and this is Poppy. She's almost all recovered from her surgery. Oh, honey pie. Oh, and she's chewing up stuff. Good for her. Chew away, my love. Why won't this move upwards? There it goes. Oh, or she's sleeping. Oh, she's sleeping with her toys. What a baby. Oh, I'm so happy that she's doing well. Because, I mean, listen, they've got it down to a science. But at this point, anytime anybody goes under the knife that you love, it's very, very upsetting. It can be very, very, very upsetting. Yeah, this is cool. Bob Randolph, who's been, we've been having a nice little chit chat. What a wonderful guy he is. A sweetheart on the show. And look what he sent me, Melly C. How about that? Actually, I can do this, right? Can I do that? Will that work? Oh, come on. Oh, we got rid of it. There it is. Let me put it back. There it is. Isn't that cool? It's not a particular brand, he said, but he got it for like $2. But he had it restored, and isn't that cool? It's Snoopy playing tennis. This is Snoopy playing baseball. What do you think about that? It's cool, right? You know who the queen of Snoopy is here, Bob. Melly C. Queen of Snoopy, but thank you. That's a really cool watch, and I'm sure she would love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Here's a Jacquet Rose, brand new unboxing from you-know-who. It is the incomparable Angelo Menichello. Look at that thing. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. That is insane. Beautiful tono shape. Rice beads. Gorgeous. These are not in production, I don't think, anymore, right? Look at that. Oh, nice. Oh, they are new, huh? Or you got it new. Oh, you did get it new. Or no, maybe not. That box looks like it's been around a little bit. Wow. Yeah, apparently. Oh, look at that. Apparently. Oh, that looks great, man. Oh, congratulations. Very, very dressy, by the way. Extremely dressy. Go out dressed to the nines. Ah, it's great. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Unsized and sized. Perfect. Chinos are great. There you go. Now, apparently, he's been accused of inventing the first computer. I read a whole article on him a long time ago. Amazing. Now, they're relatively affordable. It's a Swatch Group brand. Not now, of course, because they've got the money to buy everyone. But beautiful horology for the right price. And it makes it into the Angelo Minichello stable, which is very, very, very hard to do. Here's Vaughn. He says, happy birthday to me. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Super Ocean. Look at this thing. Oh, you got this for your birthday? Oh, man. Did you say any? Did you get it for yourself? Did you get it for yourself? Who got that for you? Oh, man. That is, yeah. I love the Super Ocean on the orange rubber. Oh, congratulations. That's so great. I love this brand. I really wish like we could all do something to help Bright. Let's all get a Breitling this year, 2025. I would love a Breitling. I love this brand. They've got great history. They just don't have any. They have no zhuzh. They just don't have that one person that's going to put them over the top and make it all happen. That rubber bracelet is killing me, man. Orange is my favorite. Orange is my favorite color. Yeah, that is just, oof, man. Beautiful. Did you send me just one shot? Oh, come on. We want the whole thing. That's beautiful. And I love the rainbow indices, man. Very, very cool. That's a unique piece, man. Drew B wants to know if all the loom are different colors. That's an interesting question. Like, for example, on my Millie, you know, like the orange at 3, 6, and 9, it's different. They're blue, and the rest of it is green. So I'm wondering if like some of them are blue Luminova and some of them are green. Let us know. Yeah, Seinfeld is a huge Breitling guy. Yeah, that's his brand. I love it. Thank you so much for that. That's great. Congratulations and happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vaughn. Happy birthday to you. And here's the incomparable Fergal. And oh my God, what do we got going on here? Ginger, full Irish chai latte. Let's see what we got going. I'm going to get it going right now. Hold on. Oh, cats and watches. Cats, coffee, and watches. That's it, right? Is there anything more than that? Oh, look at that. Hey, Ginger. Ginge. Oh, they're devils too. Gingers can be crazy. They can be crazy and wild, but they're very loving too. Well, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, my friend, you really can't go wrong. That's the entry-level watch. That was Usha's first watch. That was my father-in-law's first watch. That's the gateway drug for many people. And by the way, can I just say that the combination of florals and orange on your arm right now, that shirt jumper combination, very swank. I think that's Joe approved. Wow, that's a great shot, Fergal. Amazing. Look at that. Right. Is that cinnamon on top though? The answer is no. What's on there? What is that? What's that stuff? Oh, he's having a full Irish. Look out. Nicely done. Yeah, like when I buy eggs, and we eat a lot of eggs around here because, vegetarians don't eat meat. So, I eat the unborn. American eggs have very, very yellow yolks because of the diet of the practices of the farming and stuff. Whenever you go over to Europe, the yolks are always so orange, and it's because of the way the animals are treated, what they eat. They're all products of their environment. But man, they taste completely different. But man, those tomatoes are calling me. That looks great. What a great, but you need a nap after that, man, don't you? God, a meal like that, I immediately need a siesta after that. Great shots, Ferg. Thank you so much. Fantastic. Now you guys know what a full Irish looks like. Madness, Malk and Mindy madness. Yeah. What are the kids? Oh, Mork looking super cute today. Super duper cutie. Oh, hey, baby. Looking great. He's looking so healthy, you guys. So healthy. Oh, she's an angel. I just want to pick her. Can you pick her up? Laverne didn't like to be picked up. She didn't. Paul used to want to hold her like a baby, and she would never allow it. She didn't really enjoy being picked up. You could hug her, and she slept with me every night, and you could cradle her in your arms in bed. But if you picked her up, she never liked it. I suspect she doesn't like that. Oh, Mork. He looks like he'd be more cuddly, right? I bet you could pick him up. I've only had one cat that we could flip upside down and cradle him like a baby, and that was Murray. And he was a wonderful cat. He was not very smart, but he was very beautiful and very sweet. He was a very sweet cat. Uh-oh. Come on, be nice. Oh, look at that. That's so smart the way you have this done. These apparati. Look at that. She looks like she's ready to cause some trouble. You should frame that shot. Can I just say that? It's frameable. Listen, here's my problem with pictures nowadays. This is why I do the Gallery of Bashtards. It's why it started. Because photographs used to be, I've said this before on the show, photographs used to be memories. They used to be, whatever your roll of film, your capacity of your roll. You always try to squeeze that last frame in, and you would cherish them, and you put them in albums and stuff like that. Now I've got 62,138 pictures on my phone. Do I look at any of them? No, but every once in a while I have to scroll to try to find the picture that I was looking for. The search function helps. But when you get a shot like that, that's a classic to me. It's classic. I got that right. Mindy doesn't like being picked up and Mork does. I knew it. You could just tell because I'm a cat lady. That's why. I know all about it. Evidence, Basher police, 1 minute late, Dirk. My boss is here. Dino, what do you got? At least they didn't erase anything. 4 waiting. 1 live in 1 minute, 26 seconds. Okay. What else you got? 22. Okay, there it is. And I'm not live yet. Premium. Oh, you're a YouTube premium guy, huh? Oh. Now, is that different from... Is that different, Dean, from like having YouTube TV? I don't even know. Isn't that crazy that I don't even know that? I don't know. Here's Carabine. Oh, my God. Sharon's beauty. You ready for this? Oh, my God. That's not even fair. You're so pretty. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. You're so pretty. And you are a loved kitty cat. That's the Carabine. You're a doll. You're so pretty. Thank you, honey. That's why we do Gallery of Bashtards. We're creating memories every single day. Because otherwise we don't get them. We take these pictures and we don't share them. We don't show them. We don't pull out our photo albums anymore. Somebody wants to show me shit on their phone and I just don't care. Because I know there's 50,000 videos on there and stuff. And here's the incomparable Ray's having some brown bread. What kind of bread is that? It looks more like German bread. What do you have in there? There's your milk, your Sony headphones. You're having a cup of tea. What is that? You having a sandwich? Or you're having a ham sandwich? That's Ray. In the flesh. Dun, 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 dun. Dean DG says, paying top dollar to YouTube, go premium. That's what he has. He has YouTube premium. I don't know what difference that is between that and the TV. And is this your ancestors? Is this your ancestors? It's beautiful. What are you making on the loom? Are you making a new jumper? Or some socks? Beautiful. Yeah, I have a lot of these shots too. And these are the shots that we cherish. Thank you. Look at that. That's a piece of your family history. It's incomparable, incredible, incomprehensible. That's what just doesn't exist anymore. So that's why we do the Gallery of Bastards. Because, we get to share people's lives and memories, and it's just not happening anymore. And, I don't think anybody else is doing that. This is the place to do it. It's your show. I just hosted. Share us your memories because it's a beautiful thing. Because I think about all the pictures I take. I just took a bunch of pictures of. There's a Cybertruck. I took it for Angelo. I'll mail it to you. It was right up my street. It was just parked on my corner, so I just shot it. And then there was a that Cadillac Lyric. It would be a big fight because Paul, if we were to go electric, Paul loves that. He's a GM guy. So he likes the Lyric, and it's a beautiful car. It's really pretty, and it's very big. Those things are heavy. So yeah, you take all these pictures, and you just take them, and then you forget them. Like you go, look, and then that's it. Used to be albums. We used to assemble them, and you'd sit down at Christmas or New Year's or a birthday, and somebody would bring out the album. Like think about wedding albums. Does that even exist anymore? Does the bride oh my God, that's for the album? You have the photographer that you spent too much money on. You have the wedding hall that you spent too much money on. Do you know how many Rolex you could probably buy for that wedding? It's just, I always say people should stop having those big, stupid weddings and do like what Dana and Emmett did. They had a fucking gorgeous wedding in the park and then close family and friends at a restaurant. It was magical. It was a magical night. That I've been to from New York. I go to Queens, you go to Leonard's, you go to all these big halls, right? Oh my God, they got a Lucite piano and a spiral staircase and the Viennese hour, all these big events. You rent out a catering hall, costs everybody 50, 60, 70, 100,000. Oh my God, have you been to, I went to, it was $1 million wedding. It's a fucking party. You're throwing $1 million party? What a colossal waste of money. I love a great cunty little party. Who doesn't love that? But, at somebody's really cool crib or a house party. I don't need to go to some manse and they rent it out. It's just buy a house. How about take that money and go put a down payment on a house or, pay whatever. I don't know. I'm ranting. I just don't see the point of that. It's party because at least with a Rolex or a good Patek or an AP or one of the one of Angelo's museum things, you've got it. It's collateral. You have it. Party is gone. And then now with the pictures, are they all taken on iPhones now? Does anybody even care? Hey, $10. David Lynch. I just read that before I went online. David Lynch. Did not listen. I've never been the biggest fan of his, but I understand his artistry and his uniqueness and individual. Like Eraserhead, right over my head. The original Dune movie, I don't know. Everybody in America was captivated by Twin Peaks, but I did love a bunch of his works too. So very interesting, very unique filmmaker. And I was just talking about him on the other night when I was talking to my friend Corey. We were talking about David Lynch and his vision. In a way, I'm not saying they're the same, but like Stanley Kubrick had a certain way of making films, as did David Lynch. Very, it's a big loss for the film world. I don't know what he's been working on lately or what he'd done, but I'm always surprised when I look up the list of, which I'm going to do right now, David Lynch, and see in his oeuvre. Wasn't he married to somebody very famous? Who was he married to? I thought he was married to somebody famous, but I could totally be wrong about that. So let's go to his Wikipedia page because that's where you get all the real information. And thank you so very much for that. Instead of a big super chat gong, what I'll do is we'll just look at his work and honor him that way by remembering what he did. So not very big. Eraserhead, I didn't get that. Elephant Man, incredible movie. Blue Velvet, masterpiece. Wild at Heart, great movie. Twin Peaks, I didn't watch that. Lost Highway, great movie. Straight Story, I've never seen that. Mulholland Drive, I really enjoyed it. And I don't know Inland Empire. He hasn't made a movie since 2006, but apparently he was a painter. So look at this. Hey, that's a lot better than a lot of art I've seen out there. It's a lot better than Paul Stanley's art. Oh, I'm not sure. Is that not being shown? What happened here? I apologize for that. I wanted to show you that. Chrome tab. Here. There you go. That's David Lynch's art. If you go online, go on there and go see like people like, Keith Richards is a painter. All these celebrities paint. and wah, 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 wah. It's just, that's actually pretty good. Paul Stanley from Kiss, he paints and he sells his pictures for like $100,000 now, and they're atrociously bad. This is a guy that definitely, I mean, like, you know, you're gonna find out, like, don't you know Nicolas Cage? He paints. Have you seen his work? Dennis Hopper hung around with the greatest artists ever, you know, so he wanted to paint too, you know. I mean, that's like me hanging around with, you know, Kiri Takanawa or you know Pavarotti and going, you know, I want to be the next. No, listen, these people are called by the gods, or if you're a monotheist, the god. It's, you know, it's just, that's very nice though. But yeah, it's a shame. Thanks for reminding us all. Yeah, he was an artist, true artist in every sense of the world. Thank you so much. You know, we'll give him one bell. I think I have one single bell. Let's give him the monks. That's a way to send him out. And thank you for that. Ray said, thank God for Kubrick. We wouldn't have had them amazing moonful. We wouldn't have the amazing moon landing without him, right? Boom, yeah. Boom is right. We have to listen, acknowledge the great artists. Like, art is subjective, like music, like anything. Like, you know, your watch is not my watch and all those things. We don't all love the same things. But when we acknowledge other people's tastes and other people's art, it enriches us, and it maybe makes you go, wow, I never really thought about Klimt before. You know, there's a lot of modern artists I don't particularly care for, but other people do, and maybe they'll open up your eyes to it. Took me a long time. I went to the Guggenheim and finally saw some Pollock and went, oh, you know, in person, it's a whole other ball game. I am an old fart. I like, you know, Medici stuff. I like all the Uffizi Gallery. I love the Titian and the Michelangelo and the Da Vinci, and I like all the old Rembrandts. They all, you know, the classic old, you know, Vermeer. But every once in a while, you see a great piece of art that's modern, and there are people out there making and creating new movements and, you know, new styles of music. I walked into a shop in my neighborhood, and there's this very young girl. She's very cute, and she is always playing kind of music I would never listen to. But I went in the other day and I said, "Are you listening to Radiohead?" And she was. She's listening to the Bends. Now, it's not a band I care about. Never been interested. I have the Bends. I liked it. And after that, I never cared. But I told you the other day that Tom York has an album out that's very good, and I listened to it. It was great. So I bought it. So I turned her onto it, and then I went into the store this morning, and she was listening to that record. She goes, it's amazing. It is. So, you know, like, that's the beauty of art. You know, you have to look at it. You have to hear it. You have to experience it. You never know when it'll speak to you. You never know. I still don't like Van Morrison. Don't like him, you know, but he might be great, and I wouldn't even know, you know. Dean says, I had a 3-month trial from YouTube last year. I could not go back. Oh, no adverts. All videos are in 4K, and the standard YouTube video is downgraded. Wow. Is that crazy? So does my shit look like it's 4K? Because I shoot it in 4K, but I think it's going out in 720p because I think that's all StreamYard allows. That's Dr. Bob's Nightmare. Nanu. Yeah, it's funny. We were talking about Robin Williams the other day, like what a genius that guy was. I didn't particularly care for his comedy as much as I cared for him as a brilliant actor, like Psy in 1 Hour Photo. If you've ever seen 1 Hour Photo, it was absolutely incredible movie where he plays the photo guy and he's creepy. He's obsessed with the family. It was really amazing. Robin Williams, Andy Kaufman. I don't care for his shtick either, but I get why people liked him. Lenny Bruce, you know, but you have to admit, you know, it took me forever. There's a lot of singers I like more than Sinatra. I like Andy Williams over Sinatra. I like Dean Martin over Sinatra. Sinatra doesn't pull me in the way some people like, you know, like Corey, my friend Corey, we were talking, he said Kate Bush doesn't move him. Like, okay. I mean, she moves me more than anybody else, but that's why we're all made up of different cells and energies. And that's the beautiful thing. That's why we share the photos on this incredible place. You know, Dr. Bob's Nightmare says that the moon is flat. It might very well be. And Panel Power says David Lynch made the return of and Twin Peaks in 2017. He had to replace late David Bowie's character with some sort of teapot thing. Oh, well, it's interesting. Particle board made of paper mache, Flat Moon Society. Paul doesn't believe that the flat earthers exist. He thinks they're just there to annoy us all. Monet, of course. Yeah, Monet, Manet. There's so many amazing different things like Rodin. Listen, my old friend Mary Schwartz had this incredible apartment with her 1931 Steinway, and she had Picasso on the wall, and some of it was doodles, and they're like, and some of it was incredible. Like, art is so subjective, sometimes it just takes the right person or the right eye, or maybe you'll never like it at all. Doesn't really matter. Sharon has a YouTube premium too. I'll have to look into that. What is it? Like, how much is it expensive? Because I know the YouTube TV costs like $100 or whatever. Anyway, guys and girls, that's the show. You guys are amazing. And thank you all to you super chat lovelies, Mike Callan, Andrew Wolkowicz, Carolyn Martin, Sharon, Carolyn Martin again, and M. Thank you so much. Also, I don't say this enough, and it's very important because they help pay the rent and all this stuff. You guys coming in here every single day so I can do the show, so the show happens and it's a real thing. Jim Lassick, Andrew Wolkowicz, Go Moto Soto, Nick Sisto, Complicated Time, Fergal McDermott, Nathaniel Hannon. These people deserve my love and attention, and I don't do nearly enough on Patreon. They just help keep my ship afloat. Dana O'Malley, Lord 8, of course, Dino, Al Benedetti, Angelo Minichello. Where are you, Al Benedetti? Come back. We love you. He's such a busy guy. Gas, man. Danny L. Dave Fahrenheit 451, Dave Fitzsimons, Lady with the Wrench Martin, Easy E, Mimi R, Chris on the Upper East Side, Scott in Love, Jocelyn Bittenbender, Ray, Nader Pritz, Jonathan Badner. Hey, where have you been? We will have you back. James M. Thank you so much. Drew B. Mike Callan, C. Nord, and Stuart H. Jazz. She left us, but I'll keep you on there. Joe LaFaro, Handsome Joe, the last one in the door. Thank you guys. Listen, it's just the little things that count, and I get to do this show every single day, and it makes me not have to go get a real job. So thank you very much for all the love and support and all the stuff you do. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. And I'll be back with the big guy when he's done with his show, and I'll be back with Dana O'Malley. Get a bottle of wine, get a bottle of scotch, get a gin, get whatever your tipple is. Let's get it all together, and let's have a great time, have a couple of drinks, and share life, because that's what we do here on the iBashers. It's your show. I just host it. So remember to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you. And remember, if you encounter somebody who's not so nice, give them the benefit of the doubt. They could be a great person going through something really terrible, or else they're just a Bashers.